Good evening, ladies and gentlemen of the press and fellow Kisumu residents. Let me begin by welcoming my chairman of the Council of Governors, Governor Wycliffe Ambetsa Oparanya, who is also my chairman and chairman of Lake Region Economic Bloc. It has been a very busy day for both of us, but more busy for the chairman, who was in Nairobi for several meetings, one of them being at the COG to handle very pertinent issues related to the disbursement of revenues to the counties. The issue is very clear to you. We have had interlocutions with the Senate over this issue, and the stand of the Council of Governors was made very clear after 3 months of a standstill. And the chairman would like to clarify to the people of Kenya the stand of the Council of Governors on behalf of the people of Kenya living in 47 counties, mine included, and the proposals we have made regarding the resolution of this problem several times, and the reasons why we are where we are today, and therefore the reasons underlying the stand of the Council of Governors. Mr. Chairman.
Thank you very much. I want to state clearly that I'm going to make this statement as the chairman of the Council of Governors and not as governor of Kakamega County. Because I've seen some senators not distinguishing the difference between the chairman of the Council of Governors and the governor for Kakamega County. Because when I speak on behalf of the Council of Governors, I must get a mandate from the entire council for me to issue a statement. And the statements I've issued before and the statement I'm going to issue now has the mandate of the Council of Governors. Sometimes I might disagree with my colleagues, but when the majority resolve on an issue, I have to pronounce myself on behalf of the Council of Governors. So I will make a statement, an official statement thereafter. In between, I will also make other clarification. The Council of Governors would like to clarify the reasons surrounding the decision to shut down the counties from tomorrow. First and foremost, we would like to set the record straight that the shutdown is not a decision by the chairman of the council. This follows a resolution made by the full council on 8th September 2020. This has been occasioned by the delay to pass the County Allocation Revenue Act 2020, hence a delay in disbursement of the equitable share of revenue. More than 3 months into the financial year 2020-2021, county employees have continued to work and offer services, with some of them without receiving their salaries and allowances. Some of these employees have been thrown out of their houses due to lack of payment of rent, no money to buy food, no money even to pay for utilities. For your information, they have at the moment no health insurance cover because the county governments have not paid for this cover because they have not received their disbursement. Further, the health facilities have no medicines, no money to replenish non-pharmaceutical commodities. We have been unable to pay electricity bills. At the moment as I talk, the county governments owe Kenya Power 2 billion for the financial year for 2020-2021. As you are aware, the National Assembly already appropriated resources to the national government, which has continued to provide services and employees paid. Allow me to give you the chronology of actions leading this decision to close down. On 3rd August 2020, a meeting was convened by CS Treasury, attended by the Speaker of the Senate, Minority and Majority Leader of the Senate, Majority and Minority Whip of the Senate, Chairman of the Finance Committee of the Senate, Controller of Budget. Council of Governors was represented by the Vice Chairman and the Whip and the Chairman of Finance Committee. And there was also a member representing the Office of the Attorney General. And at that meeting, it was resolved that borrowing from Supreme Court Advisory Number 3 of 2019, paragraph 80 and 81, National Treasury to seek authorization from Parliament to withdraw 50% of the county allocation for the financial year 2021-2020 from consolidated fund and dispersed to the county revenue fund using the current formula as provided for in Article 217, Sub-Article 7 of the Constitution. Despite the above resolution, the National Treasury still failed to disperse the funds as agreed. Instead, they wrote to the Attorney General seeking for an opinion on the modalities of disbursement of the funds. Owing to this, the Council wrote to the National Treasury to ask for a release of 50% of the shareable revenue to the counties. This is in line with the Supreme Court Advisory Reference Number 3 of 2019, which allows for the disbursement of up to 50% of the shareable revenue pending the passing of the County Allocation of Revenue Act. Further, in our press statement made on 3rd September 2020, we informed the Senate and the general public of the impending shutdown. Despite notice and appeal to the Senate to resolve the revenue impasse, the Senate has to date failed to pass the formula leaving the counties no choice but to close down. We have also called upon the National Treasury to release at least 50% of the equitable share of revenue as is allowed by Section 134 of the Public Finance Management Regulation 2015. We note with regret that despite the regulation having a general presumption of constitutionality, the Attorney General advised the Treasury contrary to the provision of the Public Finance Regulation 2015, citing the regulation as unconstitutional. This power, as we know, is solely vested in the High Court. It is absurd that despite their constitutional mandate, the Senate has failed to protect the interests of counties and their governments. The County Allocation Revenue Act 2020 is yet to be passed. To date, in view of the confusion that is displayed by the Senate whenever they convene to consider the same, it seems like the Senate has just woken up from their slumber, that they have had this formula for the last 2 years. They knew about the formula 3 years ago, yet they have continuously treated the country to theatrics during the 12 times that they have convened to consider the formula. And we are saying enough is enough. Institutions need to step up their mandate and stop apportioning blame to others. Like the Council of Governors have continued to offer solutions to unlock the funds to go to the counties. We hope that our announcement has wakened them up and they will expeditiously pass the CARA and unlock the stalemate so that funds go to the counties. It is unfortunate, ladies and gentlemen, that this afternoon the Senate spent the whole afternoon discussing B instead of discussing the formula. And as you know, they are paid for sitting in the Senate. I hope the Speaker will resolve that they should not be paid for this afternoon. Because what was important was to discuss the formula, and that's where we are. We have told them severally that the law allows the passing of CARA and using the old formula to disperse funds, an option that they don't want to undertake. Because it's clear in law that as you consider this other new formula, you have the option of passing CARA and using the existing formula to disperse funds to the counties. We have also told them to talk with the leadership of the National Assembly, so that the Assembly can pass as quickly as provided through the advisory of the Attorney General, that the National Assembly need to pass an act to amend the Public Finance Management Act so that the counties can get 50%. What I can see, the Senate is not interested in the welfare of the people. The 47 million Kenyans who are suffering so far because there are no funds in the counties. And this is not the first time. Even the financial year 2018-2019, it took 3 months for them to pass Kara. And even if you are aware that last month they had to go on recess, leaving a very important matter to be passed before them, that one of passing Kara. And now they want to apportion blame to the Council of Governors. We cannot accept this. They must do their work, and they are paid to do their work. Thank you.
Any questions, ladies and gentlemen?
Yes? We have specified clearly that for essential services like healthcare, we cannot take patients already who have been admitted in the hospital. They cannot be taken out. They will continue to be there. The little money that we get from our own revenue can be used to sustain them. But we shall allow outpatient services, and where we feel that, where the counties feel that someone is critical, then he will be referred to private hospitals until this issue is resolved. Because most of the hospitals don't have drugs, so what do? We have another problem even at KEMSA, and you know what is happening at KEMSA.
Another question? Kama kuna maswali? Yes, ndugu wangu. Wait.
My name is Nicholas. You are offering the services. Will you be collecting revenues from the counties?
Obviously, we are going to do that. I've told you that most of the rural counties' own revenue is a very small fraction, hardly 5% of what we collect. 95% comes from shareable revenue. So the bulk of our revenue is from the shareable revenue, equitable shareable revenue. And we will continue collecting the funds because we have to sustain also those patients that are already admitted, the outpatient services that we are going to provide. We have also to continue paying for water. People need water. And minimally also pay for electricity, utilities and so on. So that one will need some money, so we will continue.
Maybe finally, when the Senate represents the country at the Senate, and then you are talking about the Senate not considering the plight of the people, the plight of the government. Now, are you going to win this fight? Is it going to be beneficial to the counties anymore?
Let me give that to my colleague here who has been a senator before I comment. He has been a senator before.
I think the Senate was a better place when I was there. If I were there, I don't think we'd be here today, keeping the counties waiting for so long for their revenue. But that's water under the bridge now. I think what we are saying is that the Council of Governors has been patient enough. And during the last 3 months, we have been proactive. You must understand that the last 3 months is when we were dealing with COVID-19. And I must thank His Excellency the President, because more than before, him and the chairman have engaged regularly to make sure that the national government and the county government implement that section of the Constitution which says we have 48 governments in this country. One national government, 47 county, separate but interdependent. That interdependence during the last 3 months has been put into practice by the chairman and His Excellency the President by being proactive. This is what we expected the Senate to do during the COVID period, to be proactive and ensure that we work together in tandem to make sure that our people are served, especially at this difficult time. Instead, the Senate has done otherwise. It is now 3 months. We can no longer pretend that the center is holding. Things have fallen apart and the center cannot hold. The Wananchi should know it from us that the responsibility lies squarely in the hands of the Senate, not in the 47 county governments. This is the point that the chairman is making. We expect the Senate to wake up from its slumber and perform its function of defending the interest of the counties as provided for in the Constitution of the Republic of Kenya. Thank you very much.
There is a, yes?
Thank you. My name is Laura from Citizen TV. Okay, the first question is, yesterday you were at State House and the President had indicated that depending on the performance of the economy, we might have an extra 3 billion injected into the allocation of the county. Now, was there any consensus? What was your view in that meeting? I mean, what did you come up with in that meeting? And the second one is, today you also had a meeting with the CS for Treasury and the National Assembly to resolve the standoff. What did you agree on in the issue of the release of 50% of the funds?
Now, I must thank the President that he was able to give 50, in fact, to be exact, 53 billion, more than the 50 that has been quoted. Exactly, it was 53 billion. And that meeting, we agreed that the Senate should go ahead now and agree on the formula. At that time, I also insisted that because what I saw, there was a lot of polarization within the Senate. It was politics and not them looking at this particular formula. So at that meeting, I did insist that let us get our 50% because I knew they were not going to resolve this issue in the next 2 to 3 days. So we needed at least money before Friday this week so that as we continue with provisions of services to Wananchi at the grassroots, they continue discussing their formula. And whether it takes 2-3 months, we will have got our 50% up to December, we will then be covered. Today, we had a Zoom meeting with CS Treasury, Control of Budget, Council of Governance, and a representative from the Attorney General's office. The Chair of Finance at the Senate also came in late for the meeting, and we were expecting the Chair of Finance at the National Assembly. Unfortunately, he never turned up, or she never turned up. So we proceeded with the meeting. But without the presence of the National Assembly and the Senate, it was difficult to resolve this particular issue, because that's where the problem is. So the fact that they never attended the meeting, the CS Treasury suggested that we try to convene another meeting within 2 days, now involving more of the National Assembly and the Senate.
Asanteni sana ndugu zanguni.
Yeah.
Have a good evening.
Swali moja na mwisho tafadhali.
Kutoka wapi basi?
Naitwa Oliver Ochieng kutoka Radio Sahara.
Okay.
Nauliza hivi mwenyekiti wa baraza la magavana ni kwamba Rais Uhuru Kenyatta amekuwa katika juhudi kuona kwamba hii hali inasitishwa na tayari umetangaza kwamba kuna baadhi ya shughuli ambazo zitasitishwa katika kaunti. Je, kama kiongozi wa nchi ambapo hili kama magavana mko chini yake katika serikali za kaunti, nini msimamo wake kuhusu jambo hili? Asante.
Msimamo wetu tayari tumeitoa.
Msimamo wa Rais Kenyatta.
Sasa msimamo wa Rais Kenyatta siwezi kujua. Msimamo wake wewe, mimi siwezi kujua. Wewe unaweza, ukiwa na nafasi na yeye unaweza kumuuliza, lakini mimi naangalia vile sheria inasema, na vile sheria inasema ili jambo liko kwa Senate, aliko kwa rais wa nchi. So hii ni mambo ya Senate na pangine ikisaidiwa na National Assembly, si ndio? Haya,
chukua wakati uwe na Zoom meeting na bwana rais.